Hey there, it's Kay White. I am trying to get everything set up here. I wanted to hop on and talk a little bit about creating coloring pages. And I'm really just going to just start playing around here. I'm going to start on a very basic level. I won't use a custom GTP or anything like that. Let's just give some instructions here into ChatGPT V4 and see if it can assist us with creating coloring pages. Okay, I wanted to just give you something to help you get started, getting familiar with coloring pages, doing something a little bit different tonight. So I'm going to put a request in here and just see where we go with this. Hold on just a second. So I've just given ChatGPT version 4 an instruction. I've said, hello, let's start a new project. I want to create coloring pages. And the response that I've gotten back says, that sounds like a fun project. To help you create coloring pages, I'll need some details about your vision for them. Could you please share the themes or subjects you're interested in for these coloring pages? For example, are you thinking of animals, nature, abstract patterns, characters, or something else? Let me know specific ideas or elements you want to include, and I can assist in creating the illustrations for your coloring pages. And so I'm thinking off the top of my head, let's try something. Let's try butterflies and see what we can do with that. We're just going to test this out here. Okay, I've said, okay, this sounds great. Hold on, I see an error here. Okay, this sounds great. Let's create some butterfly coloring pages. I would like to see some cute and fun scenes for butterflies to have available for coloring. And let's hit enter and just see where it takes us from here. And again, as I've mentioned previously, when I am creating a lot of text to get prompts, or I'm giving ChatGPT instructions, in this case, ChatGPT 4, I'm working inside of ChatGPT 4 because I want to give a lot of wording, but I also know that ChatGPT version 4 has the ability to give me an image. So that's why I'm working inside of ChatGPT version 4 as opposed to DALLE 3, which is a image version or tool, I should say, of ChatGPT 4. I work in ChatGPT version 4 when I have more words, and I work inside of DALL-E 3 when I have more images that I'm creating. So since I'm primarily giving instructions for and text for creating coloring images, we're going to stay within ChatGPT 4. And so let's see what it's done here. It's already given us a cute, cute, cute illustration of butterflies. And it says, here's a line art illustration suitable for a coloring page, featuring butterflies in cute and fun scenes. The design includes various playful settings, such as butterflies fluttering around flowers and interacting with small creatures, providing an enjoyable coloring experience with detailed patterns and natural elements. I like this so much. My mom is a senior and she loves to color. So when I look at this, I think of something that she probably would really enjoy adding color to. So this is pretty nice. I like what we've gotten so far. And what I'm going to do in the case of this, I could go in one or two directions. I think I'm going to test and see if Chat GPT 4 can be consistent in providing me the images that I want. And so I'm not, and normally I would give, or I would ask Chat GPT to create some prompts for me that I could then take and create images with. But in this case, I'm going to just continue to go with this and see what it does for me. So I'm going to ask a question. And so I'm going to ask, can you create 5 complementary images for this initial image? I'm going to put that in here and see what happens. And just for the record, typically I find that DALL E3, which creates images and is designed to create images, can often process a little bit faster and render the image faster. So since we're in ChatGPT version 4, and we're requesting images, is going a little bit slower. Now, this is what I was concerned about. Here is an image that they've provided as a coloring image, but it has that shading in it. So And also it gave me five different images in one block frame here. So I'm gonna give it a few more instructions, and just remember when you are feeding instructions into ChatGPT 4 or even DALLE, you got to be pretty specific. It's going to take you at your word, and sometimes you won't always be sure what you'll get back. But if I had said five single images, provided separately or something like that, it probably would have just given them to me singularly. So let's see. I'm going to give some instruction here to get to provide some guidance for what I really want. I can't type tonight for some reason. Okay, so it says, or I've said, these are cute. However, please provide individual images by rendering one at a time. Also, please remove any shading within the coloring image. And let's just see what this gets us. We're just playing around with it to see what we can get it to do and how much instruction we'll have to give, and we'll go from there. Let's just see what happens. Okay, this is pretty cool. What can we do here to change this up a bit? Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is the next instruction that I've given. This is cute. However, please add details within the image of some size so the specific items can be colored with ease. Also, when outlining the butterflies and other images, please avoid dark areas and be sure to not include any shaded areas. Thanks. Please continue. So you can see I'm just pretty much talking with ChatGPT 4, version 4, as if I'm talking with an individual. It's like I am talking with a street artist. Is that a good example? Or I'm talking with someone that's sketching and they've asked me, how do I want it to appear? And so I'm giving them very specific details that I want this, I don't want that, can you include this, that type of thing, all in an effort to try to get exactly what I want rendered. We're looking for cute coloring pages that are easy for us to color into. And it's giving me the shaded areas, which I don't want. So let's try this again. Let's see, what does it say? Here's the updated line art illustration suitable for a coloring page featuring detailed butterflies near stream. The design includes clear outlines with more internal details, such as patterns on the butterflies' wings, textures on the rocks, and details on plants, making it easy for coloring while avoiding any dark or shaded areas. I'm thinking that when I mentioned details, it thought the program ChatGPT 4 thought I wanted it to actually go into more detail. That's not what I was looking for. I wanted it to actually give me clear spaces. And so let's try this again. I'm going to give some more instruction here to see if we can get a little bit cleaner page. Okay, so I asked ChatGPT 4 this time around. I've said, okay, I like this, but For the coloring pages I need, please avoid dark lines and include less detail. Please recreate the last image to provide something with more clear images, or let's say with a more clear image. Okay, let's see what this gives us, and we'll go from there. Just kind of getting a feel. I haven't done a lot of coloring pages, so I'm testing what I can get. Certainly, I might would get better results from being in DALLE. So we'll see in just a second. I'm going to stick with this for now because I really want to create some real clear prompts that we could use. So I'm trying to get the right look that I need, and then from there I may just go ahead and ask ChatGPT 4 to give me some actual prompts. And one thing I could probably try is requesting some simple coloring pages and then go from there. Okay, it's still giving me the dark and shaded areas. Okay, let's see what it says. Here's the simplified line art illustration for a coloring page featuring butterflies near a stream. The design has lighter lines and less detail. That's funny because it looks like it's a lot of lines and details to me, but focusing on clearer and simpler outlines for a more straightforward coloring experience. Okay, let's try something else because this is still a little bit more detail. I think it's real pretty, but if I'm coloring, I would really like to have something that doesn't have a lot of the dark areas. And we're gonna get this right. If not tonight, I'll play around with it and we'll work with it until we get it to what we want. But let's try something else here. Okay, so I've said this still isn't exactly what I need. I always do that just to confirm. I want to give ChatGPT confirmations on what does work, what doesn't work. I would prefer something else, all of that, because I'm expecting it to remember this as I continue to use the system and probably helps for other people too. Maybe if I can say it in a way that provides some clarity as it continues and someone else is given instructions, it will then use some of the instruction that I've given. It can have something to refer back to help with creating a better image. So that's what I'm always thinking about. So let's see. I've asked it to recreate the design and use a simpler design. So let's see what happens. I love all of these images actually. I just want them to be clearer so that they're easy to color because this is something that I will probably create for my mom. And I want her to be able to color with ease. But there are coloring books though that have very intricate design. And so these are okay. They're quite lovely, but not for what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that's a little bit simpler in design and illustration. Okay, this is kind of simple. um, so this still isn't exactly what I want. This is cute. So this is what I'm gonna do. Let's see. Okay, so this time I wrote, okay, thanks. This still isn't exactly what I need. Please help me understand what I can say to help you provide me with simple butterfly scenes where images are fun and cute and without dark lines and have no shaded areas. And let me try one more thing. I decided to add perhaps something a 10-year-old might enjoy coloring. Let's see if it gives me some better images or tells me exactly what to say here. Okay, so it did. It gave me some instruction here. Let's read through it and see where we are. It says to create simple and fun butterfly scenes suitable for coloring by a 10-year-old, it's important to focus on few key elements. Number one, clear and simple outlines. Request illustrations that have clear, defined, but not too intricate deep outlines. This makes it easier for a child to color within the lines. Playful and whimsical elements. Mention the inclusion of playful elements like flowers, leaves, and other insects that interact with butterflies. This adds a fun and engaging aspect to the scene. Avoid dark or thick lines. Specify the lines should be light and not too thick, and heavy lines can be overpowering in a coloring page. Number four, no shading or textures. Clearly state that the illustration should not have any shading or textures inside the lines, inside the outlines. Also, well, as this can complicate the coloring process. Oh, now that's what I needed right there. It says, let's see. Clearly state that the illustration should not have any shading or textures inside the outline. That's what I need to say, I guess. And then number five, age appropriate complexity. Indicate the complexity of the design should be suitable for a 10-year-old. This means avoiding overly detailed and realistic designs. Let's see. Okay, it says, let's see where we are. And so then it goes on, let's see, shades. Clearly state the illustration should not have any shade, any textures the, inside the outlines. This can complicate the process. Where was I? Okay, under age appropriate, this means avoiding overly detailed or realistic designs that might be more suitable to older colorists. And then the last one, number six, bright and cheerful setting. Requesting a bright and cheerful setting can encourage a positive and enjoyable coloring experience. Okay, so it actually gave me a prompt here, and we're going to try this. It says, create a line art illustration suitable for a coloring page featuring simple and fun butterfly scenes for a 10-year-old. This design should have clear, light, and simple outlines with playful elements like flowers or leaves. Avoid dark, thick lines and do not include any shading or textures within outlines. The scene should be bright, cheerful, and of appropriate complexity for a young colorist. Would you like me to generate this illustration with the revised guidelines? Yes. Let's see, maybe that's all it took. Maybe we just needed to ask for help and let ChatGPT 4 tell us what to ask for. So I'm going to return with yes here and see what kind of illustration we get. It still didn't give me what I want. That's okay. Let's see. I guess I'm still not explaining it too well. I want, I'm gonna say, let's try something here. Okay, so I've said here, this has more elements than what I need. In other words, it's too busy with details for what I want. Okay, I would prefer, let's see, let me think what I want to say here. Okay, we're going to give it this last try here. This has more elements than what I need. In other words, it's too busy with details for what I want. I would prefer a stream with a dog included and a small bridge along with the sun and the sky with different shapes of butterflies in the air. Let's say that. But without the dark lines and no texture included in the butterflies. Okay, let's see what this does. I added perhaps show a few clouds in the sky. Okay, I added also some simple flowers on grassy ground. Let's see what happens now. I think it's studying pretty hard here because it's taking a little time. So hopefully it'll give us something good. I like this. But you see what I had to do? I had to really, I kept trying to get it to read my mind, I guess. But ultimately, I had to give very specific detail in terms of what I really want the image to look like. This is simple enough to me. It took away some of the darker lines and provided just a real cute picture that I think would be ideal for a coloring book that I might create. And it has enough scenery in it that I think it would be actually fun to color. So let's try this now. Okay, so I've said, thanks, based on this image, please create some fun butterfly scenes or designs in a similar manner that I can use for my coloring book. So when I hit the button here, I'm expecting it to give me some prompt. And so I need to go back in here. Hold on just a second. I'm going to go back in here and put prompt scenes, butterfly prompt. In fact, let's say butterfly scene prompts. Okay, let me do one thing. I'm going to change this. I want it to read a little bit different. So I'm going to take that out and come here at the designs and put in prompts, design prompts. Okay, this is what I want to do. I'm going to say thanks. Based on the image, please create some fun butterfly scene or design prompts in a similar manner that I can use for my coloring book. And let's hit enter here. Okay, so it's returned about 10 prompts for me. I won't read through all of them. I'll just read a few of them for you. I wanted to give you an idea how you can continue to give instruction to get a design that you want. And then once you have that design, you can use it to instruct ChatGPT version 4 to create more similar designs. And when I say design, when I say create more similar designs, I mean give you the prompt for those designs. And so here we are. The first one is a butterfly garden party. Illustrate a scene of butterflies fluttering around a garden filled with various flowers and a small pond, including playful elements like frogs on lily pads and bees buzzing around. Let's go ahead and put this one in here and see what it does. See if it continues to keep the lines clean and the images unshaded, no dark lines, no texture, and see if it gives us something similar to what we just got. And I'm going to go ahead and copy another one and put it in. And again, at this point, we could open up DALLE 3 and use it. It might get a little bit faster images typically. Ooh, it went back to that shading. Well, I tell you this, what we could do is again spell out, look at this image and spell out exactly what we want. Oh, but I won't do that tonight. But let's take another scene and just see what happens. Oh, I think I already have one. Let's go ahead and try the next one. But the whole idea is to give you just some guidance on how you can start creating your own coloring images. Butterflies are pretty simple, but when you start adding butterflies with other elements that you might find in a scene, especially flowers, you're going to get some darker lines and shading, but you really could potentially go through each one of your scenes and just repeat no shading. I want you to add a frog, but no shading. Or I want you to add some grass, but no shading. And continue to do that. I have had to do that at times to get a clear image, but oh, now I kind of like this one. This one with the balloons. The balloons are pretty clear. You still have those flowers down there. Uh, if someone's coloring these flowers, there's a lot of them together. I'm not sure that a person would color each individual flower. So let's try this. I'm going to say, please. Okay, so I said, please recreate and add some spacing among the flowers to make them easier to color. So you might have to do a little bit of that. And there are some custom GPTs that you could try too once you're on the pro version of Chat GPT, which would give you access to version 4 and DALLE. And you can even try DALLE. I won't do it tonight, but another night we'll just try DALLE to see what we get. Okay, so mm, this even added some color here. But I wanted to see if I could get it to allow some spacing between the flowers so it wouldn't be so many there together, but it didn't do that. But let's try one more here and just see if we can find something that's pretty simple. Okay, now this one sounds pretty simple. I'm trying to get away from the flowers. And that might be too what is needed, just to read through your prompts and select the ones that you think would give you a clear, simple image for coloring. You can create as many prompts as you want. I mean, ChatGPT version 4 gave us 10, and that's common, but you can request like 20 at a time. I've had times where I've requested, I want to say probably up to about 30, trying not to confuse it too much, but you can ask for a larger quantity of prompts and then go through and pull out those that sound like they might provide you exactly what you need. In the case of these butterflies, I would read through the prompts and just see which ones I think would be easy for coloring that wouldn't create a myriad of flowers like in the image like we've gotten in some of these. The flowers are beautiful, but when it comes to coloring, certainly you would probably have more success with more separated individual flowers than the several of them grouped together as they are here. So let's see. It's taking a little bit of time to create this one. Now, I really like this. So, this is a perfect example of how you can actually read through your prompts and select those that seem more simple and that wouldn't be so complicated to color. This is a good, very, very good example of that. I won't prolong this process, so we'll pick it up another time. But again, the whole idea was just to show you how you can create coloring pages. And you can do it inside of ChatGPT 4 or ChatGPT DALLE and really create some really cool, fun, colorful, intricate or less intricate, simple, however you want to, but it really will be based on your own instruction. After you get a format in place and kind of talk through the process of instruction, you can then request prompts and see what kind of prompts you get, and then pick out those that you think will give you the best images that represent what you want to do with whatever project you have. In the case of something like this, if I were monetizing this, I would probably put together a coloring book, and I would then likely take the same coloring book and maybe not, maybe do a different one. You could create just a coloring book that you want to sell, and then you could turn around and create a coloring book and sell it as PLR with resale rights to somebody who's a business owner who might need a coloring book for their project. So this is a great way to do that. It's a speedy way to do it. I know it seemed like it probably took a little bit of time, but again, you can speed up the process. Again, DALLE probably would generate the images faster, and you could create the prompts pretty fast actually, and then take those prompts and give some samples of some of them. You could instruct in your packaging that this is what you can do. Here are the prompts. You could give them. You could even give a prompt guide. Now to think about it, that I've talked about, you could sell the actual coloring book, and then you could sell a coloring book with resale rights for business people. But you could actually sell the prompts. You could sell the prompts that you generate as prompts inside a prompt guide and include some sample images in there and give as many prompts as you want. So again, this is just an idea that I wanted to demonstrate. I hope you've enjoyed this. We'll pick it up another time and look at probably using DALLE. But so much for this for now. Take care, and I enjoyed hanging out with you. Take care.